Welcome back. Getting ready to do another video. Today we're going to cab Spencer Opal Triplet. This is a pretty neat little opal, and this is space. You can kind of see the color already showing through. It's pretty good size. So this will be the largest triplet that I've made yet, and I'm pretty excited about this one. Should be a pretty cool little piece. I have a little project you guys will get to see a little bit later on. There's some things in the works that we're gonna put together, and this will be the centerpiece of that project. So anyway, let's go ahead and hit the cabin wheels and let's shape this thing. It's all ready to go, so here we go. Well, real quick here, I was just getting ready to, and I fumbled the piece. I dropped it on the ground. Here's the results of it. Luckily it's together and it's under a quartz cap, so there wasn't any damage to it. But I need to re-dop it real quick. These things happen, unfortunately, sometimes more than we want them to, so let me re-dop it and then we'll hit the cabbing wheels. Here we go. She's all dopped back up again, and we're gonna go ahead and hit the wheels. I'll probably give this about 10 minutes to cool off real quick so that it's a little bit more stable while I set everything up, and we're good to go. Well, here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, we've got her trimmed down all the way around, got rid of all the excess basalt. I've got a black basalt showing through that corner, so let's get rid of it. Alright, so we got a little bit of the matrix showing on there, that rhyolite, and the rest of this is all opal. So we're going to make this into an oval. So let's just get rid of some points and corners and try to keep it as much of that opal on there as I can. Going to the 220 next. That was the 80 grit, so let's move on over. A little bit of water going, and we'll smooth this out. Begin to put a bit more of an angle on it. This angle is going to go from top to bottom. Somewhere around 7 degrees is what they recommend, something like that. Where I set my own stones, I don't get too worried about it. Coloration in that. Let's see if we can get past some of it. It's interesting. Anyway, it's in that basalt. So, okay, now I'm going to go ahead and start to put the dome on this. This will seem like it's going to be a thick piece, but it's going to seem pretty low profile because of the size of the opal, which will be great. should really reflect a lot. So we're going to put about a 45 to start with. And that's going to go right down to the base of that, where the opal is glued to that basalt. So now I'm going to change my angle, about 30 degrees maybe. Now we're going to go a little more angle. In fact, I'm going to take a little bit off this side because it's a little high. I need it to be pretty much the same as the other side. Center could be high, but not the outside. Okay. Now we're going to change it, maybe 15 degrees or so. And take off some more. Probably about half of the distance of that. 30 degrees. So that leaves me a little bit in the middle. And I'm going to start to roll this. I'm going to do the sides first on this. Smaller ones are a little easier for me to do and get a nice rounded profile. These larger ones, what I do is I go 180 degrees or 90 degrees from the other side. So I go 180 across, turn it 90 degrees, and then I'm going to roll it all the way through. I'm going to turn it at 3 to 4 degrees and roll it. And what I'm trying to do is get an even dome this way and an even dome this way. Then I can go corner to corner. Roll it. Now there's not as much material to remove, so it will start to blend easier where we want it. Alright, now we can kind of start to ease some of that out. Look at it and make sure that we don't have anything major looking at us. I don't see anything, so we're ready to move over to the 280 grit mill. Now I can rock this thing and turn it and rock it all the way around. This is still removing material. Not as much, not as fast. And I want to roll from side to side. I can begin to roll around to smooth those edges out. And then I'll spin it. Help, and I want to polish this outside edge, and then I want to make sure that I can see a little flat spot. I want to make sure that rolls right down in there nice and neat. What I want is for that light, when I roll this crystal cap, I want to be able to see that opal reflect. And the better, or the fewer flat spots I have, the more reflective that's going to be, and it's going to pick up and transfer that just like a magnifying glass. So, should look really good. Really nice green flashes in this piece. I love it. Trying to ease those edges so that it looks like a dome. It doesn't have a flat spot. I don't want a flat on the top. I want it to come to that peak. It looks like it. That dome just shallows out, which is alright. But I don't want a flat because that makes it hard to polish. Alright, we're ready to move the polishing wheels. So let's polish this. Alright, that looks pretty good. We're going to change some wheels, put on my higher grit wheels, and we're going to polish it some more. Alright, we got those wheels swapped out. 8,000, 12,000, no, 14, what are we? 8,000, 14,000, 50,000. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and take this outside, take some pictures in the sun, and then we'll get it off of the dop stick and call it good. Really, really nice. Anyway, there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it more than you know. Give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe if you haven't. That way you can see more content as it shows up in your feed. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next week. Thanks.